Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the Wow That's Crazy podcast. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Thank you guys for checking us out this week. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. I want to thank last week's guest, Sherry. Thank you so much, Sherry, for being here. You did a great job. I appreciate you for being on. And everybody at work, if you haven't seen that episode, please go back and check out that episode. You know, me and Sherry had a great conversation. It was a joy, a pleasure to have her on. And I hope Steve get taken care of and get a lot of praise and recognition this week. Um, this month, I really didn't. By me having a couple of weeks off, I didn't really touch on Black History Month, and didn't really, usually I will want to come on here and share a couple of people. So since by it being the last week of the month, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of documentaries to check out that I watched on Netflix, and tell you about a couple of Black-owned businesses that I know. So the first documentary is the last one that I recently just saw. It was the Nina Simone documentary, and it was beautiful. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot about her, and just seeing it just really, gave me a certain appreciation for her. Like, I've heard a lot about her, but just seeing her in those times, being a Black strong woman, standing up, saying things that it was most guys that wasn't even saying, and for her to take the chances and do it in her way with her music and with her voice, it was just powerful. And just to see like her go through like depression and anxiety and certain things that we didn't know at that time. So for her to deal with that and just really lead a powerful life and just do the things she did, please check out that documentary. So check that one out. Check the Miles Davis one out. Please check out the Rapture series. If you like rappers, check that one out. It got Nas on there. I want to say it got T.I. on there. Great series. Check out the Black Godfather. It's the Clarence Avant story. Young people, if y'all don't know who that guy is, please check him out. He was like a Diddy of that time. Probably way more powerful, but he was great guy, still alive. And rest in peace to his wife, because she passed, I wanted to say, this year. Or not passed, got killed, murdered this year. So rest in peace to her. The Sam Cooke documentary, and last but not least, the Kevin Hart one. I can relate a lot to the Kevin Hart one because I'm a jokester, and when I do make it, and I make it, I mean, I already feel like I made it, but in the sense of just being in a position to take care of my friends, my family, and support other people's businesses and help, my friends with their dreams or their aspirations for things. That's kind of how I would like to do it, to be able to help get my guys cars, put them in the positions to start their businesses, and just support them. And just have a relationship where no matter how big I think I get, I got people around me that'll keep me humble, because I never want to be that guy that's like feeling I'm better than somebody or I made it and I'm the boss. I don't look at it like that. If I'm in a position to help my friends, we're all bosses. It's not no such thing as me being a boss. I'm not a boss over nobody. We're all bosses. To me, that's what make a boss, when you can make everybody around you boss. So please check that one out. And some of the Black businesses that I know, I had some of these people on. I want you to please go check out their businesses if you haven't. My man E-Mac, Eric Mack, and Devin, their Family Matters and Sports Activities is a good program for, if you want to be in a basketball league, you want the kids to be in a soccer league, and you want to get out and do activities this year and get out and take care of your health and fitness. You could check them out. I had the information on my page. Seattle Muscles in Motion with Katrina Aldrich. She good place to get a massage, affordable massages, very professional, nice scenery. And the Detroit Pepper Company, my man Marlon Hughes, who was on here this year. So please check out those businesses. This week, fellas, I know y'all can understand me. This week was a journey. It was one of those, I had one of them days this week where it just felt like everything was coming down on me. And I know I'm not the only guy that go through this, but I don't hear a lot of guys talking about this. A lot of us had times where it just felt like the world is just piling up on us, and it's just a hard, long day or week. And this particular day, I knew something was off because I didn't start my normal routine as far as waking up, having to talk with God, making sure I hit the gym early. I ended up hitting it late. And I just really didn't have the time to, I talked about this, to have really taking advantage of the Calm app. I started that, and it's been like a blessing to me. Like, really, I never thought I could be the guy that can meditate and clear my head. So right after I talk to God, I always do the Calm app and really just clear my thoughts. And it's a great, it's a great app because I'm an overthinker. I'm a Virgo, and my mind is always racing. So for anything to help me turn off my mind and just focus on their voice and the water and the music, like, it's dope. I would tell anybody to check it out, man, because these times we go through a lot of stuff as men. We got the pressures of being a father, being a son, being an uncle, and just being there and being a husband. So, I would recommend that app to everybody. And this particular day, I didn't do those things accordingly, and I was rushing and I was tired. And it just felt like everything was piled up by me doing these podcasts and me working 60 to 80 hours a week and me being a father and me having a new baby and me looking for a new place to live. It was just a lot that day. And I'm used to having a lot of things on my plate, but this day it was just rough. And I just really just took the rest of the day off of work, couldn't even go to work, and just really mentally had to take care of myself and reevaluate some things that I'm doing. And I feel as men, instead of us turning into road rage, getting in a fight with somebody at work, or yelling at the wife, or doing whatever, yelling at the kids, sometimes it's just best to take a step back and just relax. Just spend some time with yourself. Forget everything that's going on. Just mentally just sit back and just worry about you, because if you're a man like me, we always worried about everybody else, and a lot of times we put ourselves last. And, that's not always the best recipe for success. So, I would just tell everybody, especially men and women, just sometimes just take a break. When you feel like everything is piling on you, it's a rough day, just take your time and just talk to the people that calm you down, do the things that relaxes you, and just take a chill pill. Life is going to be life. It's going to be what it is, especially when you working hard, as many of us are doing, trying to be successful and trying to do the things we want to do to put our family in positions. It just be a lot sometimes. So I would definitely say do that sometimes. So with that being said, I got a hard-working woman next to me and her husband in the building. I want to introduce my special guest. And quick story before I introduce her. Quick story is, and I will suggest this to many people, I don't know her at all. I'm being straight honest. And she was talking about something on Facebook, and one of my friends had basically just tagged me in a post where she was talking about podcasts. And I looked at her page, and it just grabbed me because it's like, I like anybody that's working hard, especially a black woman that's, married, doing her thing. She seemed like a great mother, a great wife. And I just admire her work ethic and everything she got going on. And I created this podcast to support people like her and her husband and anybody that's out trying to get it and make this world a better place and do what we got to do for our family. So I immediately pushed everything to the side and made sure I had her on this show. Like, we got the dates mixed up a little bit, but I'm like, I'm going to make it work. We going to make it work because you are what we need. I am what we need. People like us is what we need to make this world a better place. We always talk about putting ourselves in a position to be successful, where supporting people like her is making sure we doing our part to make this world a better place. So I want to introduce my guest, my special guest, Rosa M. Green, a.k.a. Simply Rosa.
Hello, thank you, James, for having me on.
No problem.
Absolutely.
How are you doing? How was your week?
I kind of had a week like yours. I have a lot of things that I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to teach some courses. That's kind of what brought me here to Detroit. I had an event that I spoke at earlier. So, just trying to be in the mind frame of preparation.
Okay.
So, doing good otherwise.
Okay, that's good. And I told you, behind the scenes, I was going to give you a hard time about Ohio. Especially them Buckeyes. Go Michigan, go Blue.
Oh, no. So sad.
We suffered a lot of years, the last couple of years to y'all, so I had to bring that up. It wouldn't be right if I didn't do that.
It wouldn't have been. It's cool.
Okay, so tell me about you being a mother. Tell me your job. What makes you... How do you make being a mother easy or effortlessly? How do you handle being a mother? What is your technique?
What is my technique?
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, I don't know what a lot of moms do. You know, you kind of just live in your own house in your own lane, or at least I do. I think that I really try to give them great options, but I still give them the choice between those options.
Okay.
You know, growing up, depending on what your household, you had a lot of parents that just told you what to do.
Yeah.
And their answer for why you had to do it was
Because I'm the parent.
because I said so. You know, some variation of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to that. However, I love options.
Yeah.
And I try to provide people the same things that I love.
Okay.
So my children, I try to provide them with good options like, hey, here are 3 cereals from you to pick from. You can have one of these 3 cereals. That way, in my head, if you pick the cereal, you're more likely to eat all of the cereal. You're not going to play at it. You're not going to waste it.
Yeah.
Now, if you still pick it and waste it, we have a big problem because you didn't really know what you want.
Yeah.
So I try to give them that life skill. Don't just take the things that are given to you. Make good choices.
Okay.
And whatever your choice is, stick with that good choice. So that's my approach to parenting.
I like that. I like that because I feel like that's kind of the way I parent. Like I don't believe in telling you everything, and I believe in giving an option because, like you said, you setting them up to be able to make decisions themselves.
Yes.
You setting them up to be able to. It's not a boss mentality or order you around. It's just, hey, I want to put you in the best position, so I'm gonna give you the options and show you how to do it. So when you're on your own, you can do the same thing, and when you become a father or mother, you can do that way.
Absolutely.
Use that approach. And that's just how you change certain generational curses and certain things. You change, you make it you give your kid options. So tell me about you being a wife.
Okay, funny story. I like analogies.
Okay.
I love making sure that the picture is clear.
Okay.
Me, myself, I like to refer to myself as the Star Spangled Spectacular.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm bright, I'm colorful, I'm big, I'm unpredictable. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's loud. There's a lot of different elements.
Okay.
But it's going to always keep you engaged, right?
I like that.
Okay. My husband, on the other hand, he's an M80.
Okay.
He's shutting the show down. Period. Whatever he got going, that's it. He is the final say. That's it.
Okay.
Now, although these 2 types of fireworks are different, it takes the same level of fuel to power the Star Spangled Spectacular as it does the M80. So that's where we connect together in the amount of power we give out as a husband and wife, as a mom and a dad, as individuals. But we're still very much true to who we are, where, again, I'm colorful and unpredictable. And he's going to set the groundwork for our family, and he's going to be that steady constant, and he's going to make sure that whatever he does, that when he is in that space, that he is going to create the space for all of us to be able to grow.
That.
So
I like that.
we do good.
I like that a lot. I like that. So, tell me about Mary Kay.
Okay,
What was your role handling and doing Mary Kay?
I have been in direct sales since 2008. I've lost count. I think that's 12 years, 13 years, something like that. I've had the privilege of earning 2 career cars and helping a lot of women to be able to grow their businesses and to be able to have confidence, being able to look into the mirror and feeling good about themselves. So it's something that I still do, something that I love to do, and I think everyone needs a space where they can just be themselves, and I think that Mary Kay gives me an opportunity to help women to do so.
Okay. So, being a part of the Mary Kay, is it kind of like what you see, what you get, like, the way you work towards it is what you get from it? Is it pretty much like you can get this, you can get that? Is it based on your work ethic?
It is. It's one of the most simple businesses that I know. You either share the product or you share the business opportunity. You have an opportunity to do both. And what's great is that it sets you up to be able to learn, how to be able to overcome objections, because everyone's not going to say yes. It teaches you, how to manage your time, and this is the stuff behind the scenes. So we deliver a product, but the people who's delivering the product, they don't they may not have necessarily had a business before. They've never had to manage this. So I love the teaching and the education that comes from that experience, and I try to pass it on to my customers and my team.
I like that. So how did you handle the no's?
I kept going. I'm
Was it a no that pissed you off? Was it a no that like, I can't believe
you know, I had this opportunity, or I had this young lady who she told me no.
Mm-hmm.
But what was crazy about this no is that she still kept inviting me back. So I had a facial with her, and she was like, I didn't like any of the products. So you said you'll be back in 2 weeks? I'm like,
trying to get out of the free
yes. I honestly, I still don't know what was the purpose. And, you know, I pray blessings to her. I can't even remember her name. It's been many years. But, you know, no typically is based on what the person is going through at the moment.
I agree.
They're not saying no to you.
Yeah.
They're not saying no to the product. They're saying no to the fact of, I can't think of another financial thing I need to do, or I can't take any more time away from this thing right here.
Yeah.
And when you can prioritize and know that the no is not personal, it's easy to get past it.
Yeah.
It's no different than, hey, would you like some water? No, I don't. Okay, you move on.
Yeah.
You don't in your world, you don't throw yourself on the floor. They didn't want my water. It doesn't happen. So I've learned to not take it personal.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked you that, because I feel like no's and feeling like just feeling like rejection or anything stops a lot of people from doing stuff. Like, some people really can't handle no's. Like, I know a lot of women that was selling it, and when you said no, like, you had to face them. Like, they really took it personal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't never buy nothing. Like, well, what would I use this for? Like, I don't have a woman.
Guess
like,
what? Guilt still won't make you say
not at all
anything different. But no, you know, I think that's where you have to do an internal reflection of, hey, where's there other areas in my life where when people tell me no, I take it personal? Because again, it has nothing to do with sales. You know, a lot of people, they say, you know, I can't do sales because of the rejection, because of the no's and things like that. Like, hey, we hang up on our creditors all day long and we don't have a problem. We do it all day long.
All day.
No.
Not at all. Yeah.
So, you know, if we wanted to be conscious of it and think about how many people we tell no, to me, it's hard for me not to accept no when I know I'm going to give out my share of no's as well.
Yeah, I like that approach. I like that. And just me doing a podcast, like, my thing is, what's for you is for you. And if you don't want it, you don't want it.
That's it.
But, like, my thing, like, as far as, like, me even doing a podcast, like, I don't take it personal when somebody say, nah, I don't know if I want to do it. Because I know why they telling me they want to do it. It's either one, you don't have the time, which that's mostly not the case. A lot of times people are shy, or a lot of times people don't want to get on here and say something that they feel like, oh, I said this and now everybody can see it. And like I try to tell people sometimes, well, I feel a lot of times, like sometimes you got to look outside of yourself.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's the greater duty we have. Like, I've always known I had a voice. I just didn't know how I would use it, or how would I go about doing certain things. So I just feel like coming on this podcast, I see a lot of great people that I know their stories or their business or certain things can help people.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a lot of people that I had on the show was shy and was afraid, or was just like, what am I going to talk about? Like, once you say that, I kind of already know where you're going with it. But I'll be like, we gonna talk. Like, it's just a regular conversation. But I already kind of know, so I kind of ease them on now. I have an approach. I say, come in, watch the show behind the scenes. Check it out. Just come with me and just see it behind the scenes. And if you feel comfortable, then you could do it.
Absolutely.
Because, like, it's gotta be more than just something for you sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like that's so necessary. So that's why I feel like, you know, just sometimes think about that. Like, do something. And then I'm the type of guy, I'm not going to put you in a bad position.
I would hope not. Not record it.
Because sometimes I really get offended because I be like, "This not Jerry Springer or Murray." Like I'm not gonna ask
Cheaters
you about
is not coming through the door.
I'm not gonna
No.
derail you. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, tell me about the kid on the side." Like my
No.
pastor friend, he was on and he basically was just like, "What we gonna talk about or whatever?" And I know he trusts me, but he still talked to his best friend and was just like, "Hey man, you good?" Like he ain't go. Like no, I'm not going. Like this is here to help. It's not here to blast people. Like this is the one podcast you can watch where it's not gonna be no negative stuff.
Right.
It's not about that. It's
Right.
about uplifting and about sharing a message and a story.
Awesome.
Yeah. So tell me about Blakfist.
Okay. So, Blackfist movement or Blackfist Apparel.
Okay.
It is actually my husband's baby.
Oh, I know.
So, so
Did my homework.
right. I appreciate it. But what I'll say is, when you get into a relationship, you, for me, I go in thinking, how can I help or make this person or give this person more? How do I leave them better than when they came to me? Whatever it is, how do I increase their life? And so he was just casually talking, how you and your significant, you just chop it up. And he was just like, you know what? Me and my homeboy years ago, we wanted to do this, and this. I'm a note taker. So I'm like, oh, so tell me about this thing that you were thinking about. And he was like, yeah, it would be dope. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And, talking about the fist. So for those of you who are not familiar, Blackfist is, pretty much urban upscale clothing line that is focused on making sure that us, the African Americans, are represented, especially males, when we're in casual settings. Now, when you think of hip-hop clothes, there's plenty of us. But when you want to go golfing, there's nothing, And he was explaining that. When I met him, my husband was originally from South Carolina. When I met him, again, loafers and polos. And he took me to a party where they all had loafers and polos.
Nothing like loafers and polos.
I'm like, okay. So we got a nice sophisticated crew of black men here. There's no Timbs. There's no tennis shoes. Got it. And he said, I want to be able to have something that's not... He didn't even say for him. He said, I want my people represented when I go out. So, again, me being the person I am, I took all of the information, I put it together in a nice little package, and I presented it to him. I'm like, here's a business. He's like, I was just talking about it. I'm like, well, while you were talking, I created a business for you, okay?
I like that.
And the very next day, we actually had a trip to South Carolina to visit our children that are there. And by the time we got there, the buzz was there. He shared a few posts, I shared a few posts, and we had family who supported us and friends who supported us because everyone wants to follow a good movement that represents something that's true to their heart. So, 2 years ago, Blackfist was born, and we're still helping to make sure that people are raising their fists whenever they get dressed, whenever they go out and do the things that they do.
I like that. That's dope. And I'm going to share some pictures. I'm going to share some stuff all on my page. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll post everything on my pages so you guys can check out my page for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me about the 48-Hour LLC. And elaborate on this one because I'm very interested in this.
Okay, so it's literally what it sounds like. In 48 hours, with the right information, I will create your LLC. So there's a lot of people who are kind of like you. They have passion. They know what they're doing there, but they don't necessarily know the paperwork behind it. They're like, hey, I don't know how to do this. I just know I want to be a YouTuber, or I want to do podcasts. I want to create a clothing line. I want to sell makeup. I want to produce makeup. They have all these visions of what the product or the service look like, but not necessarily the details of how do I make this a legitimate business. So since I have years of experience in finance and customer service, and I've been helping small businesses since I left high school to be able to grow and develop, I feel that I have enough experience to be able to do the same for my everyday person person who has that vision, that goal, that dream, to be able to make it a reality. And in addition to just helping them start their businesses within 48 hours, I have some people like, listen, I already have my business together, but now I don't know what to do. I have all the paperwork. Look at my paperwork. They're so proud of it. I'm proud of it. They have the product, but they don't know how to get the customer. They don't know how to prioritize their time. They're still resourcing manufacturers and different other things. So I also provide a 90-day coaching program where I'm walking week by week in a group setting and individually to help you to have the next steps as a business owner so that you can have success.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm definitely going to be contacting you about that.
Yes.
Because that's like, and I'm glad, that's why I really wanted to ask you about that, because I feel like those are the steps that I'm trying to take this year in the next couple of weeks, months. So, I want to take this to another level.
Absolutely.
And I want to, I want this to be a household name. I want this to be big.
Thank you.
So I'm doing everything far as all the things I know. So the business aspect and everything else is the next step that I want to go in.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to do like some merch. That's the next thing I was considering. I'm not considering the next step I'm taking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is that, everybody who works with me, I offer them a 30-minute free discovery session. In most cases, I'm giving you great nuggets for you to implement in your business right away. I realize that's that no thing. I realize everyone's not going to say yes to me.
Yeah.
I know everyone's not going to work with me. However, I still very much want to make sure that when you walk away from that conversation, you walk away further ahead than you were before we have this conversation. So I have a discovery session with you. I find out what's your hopes, your dreams, and then I end off that call talking about what is your next 90-day goal. So that I can be able to help to, in the case that we work together or not, be able to say, hey, James' 90-day goal, he wants to have merchandise. He wants more people to see his stuff. He wants to know that whenever his guests leave here, they're leaving him with stuff. They're leaving with stuff. They're repping the brand. Can you imagine what would life look like?
Hey, I'm trying to win it all.
It's
Just for me, it's just the baby steps. Like I believe in making sure you're taking the proper steps and you're doing everything you need to do. And sometimes it's like food. I get greedy. I want to do a lot of stuff at the same time. So I'm good at understanding. As much as I do a lot, I understand when I need to take a pause or a step back. Or understand, okay, I need to concentrate a little bit more on this thing before I go do this.
Absolutely.
So it's like merch has always been my vision. It's always been in my vision to do merch and to, get bigger, grow and have another podcast and another podcast, because my ultimate vision was to always have, this show where I just kind of concentrate on interviewing, talking to dope people, having the all guy show where we could just talk about guy issues. Eventually have a woman show where they could talk about just solely women issues and things women go through. I just want to create my own network.
I understand.
And my own network consists of merch. It consists on getting to the point where I can tour and go to places and do live shows. And just create a platform where I'm getting a whole bunch of like creative people myself, and we're all getting on the same page and we just network. It's like one big group where we all support each other's stuff. It's kind of like how, in college you have people you go to school with and you network and you say, okay, well, I know somebody that sells cars. I know somebody that sells apparel. I know somebody that do this. And we all collectively get together, support each other, and just when we come up with ideas, we bounce it with each other. We get together once or twice a year, and we just do something fun where we give back. And we say, okay, well, we help each other throughout the year. Once or twice a year, we're going to feed the homeless. Or we're going to come up with a fashion show to help less fortunate people. Or do things to help other people. It's like the grand vision for this is just to make it big as ever. Just something you're not used to podcasts doing.
I understand.
And, like when we was coming up, we had great shows. We had the Cosby shows. We had, regardless of what happened with Bill, but we had the great shows where, we saw Uncle Phil be a lawyer, a judge. We saw Aunt Viv do certain stuff. We had those shows. And I feel like these days we don't have that.
We don't.
It's keeping up with the Kardashians. It's all this housewives and all this.
Yeah.
I just want to create that one thing you can watch with your kids. If you uncomfortable with talking to your kid about this, you can put on this show. If you want to talk to your husband about something and you don't find the words or he don't find the words, he can say, "Hey, watch this episode where James was talking about this.
Got it.
He had this person on." Because, I got a big vision for this. I plan on having therapists on. I plan on having fitness people on. So, it's just not going to be your typical show. So, tell me about the Green Rose experience.
All right. So, in this of my many companies, I am a thriftologist. Well, that is the easiest way to say that I go city to city and I thrift. Okay. However, with that, I also bring that back to my clients and I show them how to be able to dress.
Okay.
Have you ever had a day where you needed to do something really important and you put on a special shirt or a special shoe or, this was your dope outfit. You knew that today this is what I needed to wear to get things accomplished. People don't realize that, you could accomplish a lot more when you are confident in your dress.
Yeah.
But, cost is going up, styles change so often. How do you do it in a way where it's affordable?
Yeah.
And conducive to your lifestyle. For me, I have found a way to do it through thrifting. Okay. I get some of the biggest brands you could think of at pennies on the dollar. I can be able to, it isn't even about like affording it. Like some of the brands, I like testing them out at the thrift store. It still doesn't mean I won't go to, a department store to buy these brands. But I don't necessarily want to jump straight into buying this $100 pair of pants.
Exactly.
However, if I try it at the thrift store and I see that I really like them, that way when I do go to the department store and I really invest in it, I know that I truly am buying a quality product I like. So it's education, it's research, it's, being fashion forward, it's reinventing yourself, it's all these different things wrapped up into a wonderful business. And I'm not sure if you've ever caught my live show, but 2 times a week I do what's called the Fashion Kickback show. So me and my model, she's a mannequin. Okay. Her name is Brenda. I use her to show people how to be able to do those things, how to be able to execute a mixed print look or, wearing monochromatic colors. So, all the same colors, but in different hues, so I feel like I'm helping my clients to be able to not just buy these things, but how can it really help them to look and feel the way that they want to be successful.
Yeah, and I always tell people, like, you want to look the part.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that can separate you from a lot of stuff, and that can open you up to all types of business. So I definitely believe that. Like, I tell people, the things I would get when I get the money I want, like, the things I'm going to concentrate on is, one, a stylist.
Okay.
Because I definitely don't like shopping. Like, I don't enjoy the process. Like, I'm a comfort guy. So give me something that's comfortable. I don't like spending a lot of time. I'll walk in somewhere, okay, I like this, grab this. I'm like literally that shopper that could go in somewhere for 10 minutes and be out in 10 minutes. Like, it don't take me long. Most of the time, I don't even have to try on nothing. Let me just grab this. I know this will fit. So that's one thing I would do. Like, I don't need all that fancy stuff. Give me a stylist. Give me a driver, because I'm tired of driving.
I understand.
Give me a driver where I can sit in the back and listen to music, watch something on Netflix, and just relax. And then give me a chef.
Oh.
I want to eat good, and I want to eat healthy, and I don't want to cook it.
Absolutely. That's, if you could create a team, a star team, that's an amazing
that's a good star team, man.
That is an amazing.
That saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, because that's where you spend most of your time is figuring out what to wear, what to eat, and how I'm going to get from A to B. Yeah, that
and give me a good business manager and a lawyer, and then I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't need none of all that other stuff. I don't care about the most expensive this. Like my grandfather always used to say this. Like, the older you get, you like certain things. Like, you start like narrowing down certain things, and the watch is one thing for me. I like watches now. Give me some nice cologne and just give me some nice food. That's it. I'm simple.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm bald head now, so I don't have to worry about the barber doing certain stuff. Just nice baldy, line the beard up, and then I'm good.
Good.
So those are things I would spend the money on. Like, just give me that team.
That's
right
a
there.
good team.
Yeah, because that saves you a lot of money right there.
Absolutely.
A lot of money.
I want the same team. How about that?
And then with these gas prices about to go through the roof.
Yeah.
We all gonna be on scooters in a bit.
Yeah. I really would like, if it was a situation like with the driver, like, bill me for the year. Like, okay, it cost me this amount of money. I don't want to see the day-to-day gas prices. Just send me a bill, quarterly. And yeah, that'll be great. I don't want to see it. I don't want to pump it. I don't want to do any of those things. So.
You and the husband can be in the back seat chilling, talking. Y'all don't have to worry about traffic or road rage, because you don't care when you in the back seat.
No.
Like, when you in the back seat, you like, drive how you drive. Like,
in Cleveland, we have public transportation, and you have buses, but we have trains, and I always prefer the train, because the train doesn't get stopped by snowstorms and by accidents. It's, it's on the track. It's going to go from point A to point B, back and forth, and there's usually no distractions unless, something happened on the track. So, you need those things in life that's going to keep you on track, that's going to keep you moving forward, that's not going to deter you from your point A and point B. So that star team definitely will do it.
And they make it life is getting more simple as far as like the options we have. Like, now you can order your groceries. You can get on the app and talk to the therapist now. You can work out from home. They got all the Pelotons and everything. You can do things from home. So for these kids and this new generation, it's like, come on, man, it's easy for y'all, man.
Right.
All they really got to worry about is their mental health now, which is important.
Yes.
But it's like, you have all the options, and just being in a position where you can start your own business. You don't have to work for nobody.
No.
Like, that's incredible. So tell me some of the goals that, you have personally for yourself this year. Goals as far as your family, your husband. Like, what are some things you want to achieve this year or the next couple of weeks?
Okay, so I'll go weeks and then get bigger.
Okay.
In the next couple of weeks, I have I'm doing I'll call it a publicity tour of sorts. So I'm going to a lot of different cities and states with my businesses, getting the word out. We have, with the pandemic, we've definitely spent a lot of time indoors and, with proper mask and safety. I'm looking forward to traveling to tell people about who I am, what I have to offer, and being able to make those connections, being able to network on Facebook and meet people. I'm looking forward to, hey, not only am I meeting you in this place, but let me come to your city. You come to my city. Let's do these different things, because I know the things that make me great or things I need access to, they're not in my backyard. So I'm willing to go and to find those things. So that's what the next few weeks look like. We'll be celebrating our first anniversary as far as my husband and myself. We'll be celebrating our first anniversary, and our wedding was epic.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
And thank you. So to keep up with that epic wedding, we're planning on having a anniversary weekend every year where our friends and family can come and just hang out. We all live busy lives. How often can you imagine being able once a year to be able to connect with your family and friends? Kind of like a family reunion, but not just your family, just, good people getting together. So I'm looking forward to our first year doing that, and really making sure that I live in my purpose and in my gifts, that I'm helping my family and my friends and all that I meet be able to do so. That's what my year looks like.
I like that.
Thank you.
I wish you the best, man.
Thank you.
And I thank you for joining me, and I definitely want you and the husband back.
Oh, absolutely.
And I appreciate it a lot by you saying, like, I'll come to you. We don't even have to do the video. I'll come to you. I like that. And I think that's dope. That's something I definitely want to get into with the networking. And I've been finding myself this year trying to do that as well, like going on other podcasts, supporting other people's businesses, and just doing my part.
The way life is set up, we have the ability to be so creative, and we don't have to limit ourselves.
That's
and you know, so yeah, it's got to make sense. You can't fly all over the world.
Yeah.
However, I try to teach people, whatever you do, live 100% in that season and in that space. So right now, I am 100% with you and learning about you and your vision and your podcast. When I get home, I'm going to be 100% a mom. I'm going to have to spend 100% of this time with, you know, so all of the different things we do, if you just stay true to what it is you have as a priority in that moment, you can be able to find that balance. You can be able to make time to do these fun and amazing things. And there's dope people everywhere, everywhere. So I really believe in making opportunities for yourself versus waiting for them to come. And, you know, I think that we both can be successful if we get out our own way and say yes to some things. True. And we can always go back home to our comfort zone. We can always stay where we are, but if it doesn't serve us, why would we do it?
Yeah. And I know that got to create a good space for y'all kids, because it's like, you know, I could come up to mommy and say, well, mommy, I want to do this business, or I want to do that. Like, you know, for us coming up as kids, it was like, you don't want to go to college. You don't want to work. You don't want to do this.
Right.
Like, we didn't feel comfortable saying those things.
Right. We tried it.
I had friends that was lying, saying they was in school, and they wasn't even in school.
Ooh,
they were just out there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was scared of my parents. No, I
semester.
definitely told them the truth. I'm not going, but
nah.
I didn't. No, I'm not gonna lie. You know.
Yeah, you were scared to share certain things. Now, you know, being a parent now, being in a space where, you know, you understanding kids taking risks, and you know, as long as it makes sense. Like I always tell my sons, as long as you have a plan, and I know you're gonna work towards it, then it's fine. But I want to thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you,
for the husband. Thank you so much for coming. I definitely want you guys back. I'm not just saying that.
Absolutely.
And we'll, you know, set that date up.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
you guys for checking us out. I have everything with Rosa and her husband's businesses on my page, so you guys can check that out. Please support them and what they're doing. Thank you guys so much. You know, just enjoy your week, wear your mask, and do something different, man. Live your life. Do something positive. Do something positive for everybody else. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thank you.